Hi, my name is Joanne Scott, and I am the music teacher at the Fairfield Center School in Fairfield, Vermont. I play professionally a lot and bring my students to the orchestra, big band, and wind ensemble concerts that I perform in. I collaborate with my musical colleagues and merge our small school bands to perform as one large ensemble in New York City or Washington, D.C. every other year. I manage and co-manage our annual middle school district festivals, jazz and chorus festivals, and employ local and international clinicians and ensembles to provide workshops for our students.
My name is Bear Irwin, and I live in Pittsford, Vermont, and I have this wonderful opportunity and privilege of speaking for Joanne Scott, who has been nominated for the first ever Grammy Award. And Joanne Scott has this amazing reputation as a fabulous teacher and a great musician on many instruments, and does many things to support music education, not only in her community in Fairfield and in Franklin County, but throughout Vermont. Joanne is repeatedly the manager for district festivals in her part of Vermont, and is a member of the board, the executive board for the Jazz Educators Association in Vermont. I think we have a new name. What do we call it? Jazz Education for Vermont or something. It used to be the IHA. And Joanne is on the board for that. Has done many years of adjudication for Allstate, and just turns out to be a fabulous advocate for music education in Vermont and in Franklin County and in her community of Fairfield. So I am very strongly in support of Joanne Scott earning this award.
Scott has put an incalculable amount of time and effort and professionalism into, and puts herself into it with a tremendous passion into developing good musicians and developing good people.
Miss Scott has made a difference in my life with so many things. She's the most inspiring and most encouraging and most driven music teacher I've ever had.
Mrs. Scott has inspired me so much because she has taught me how to play the flute, and she's got me in band so sooner than I expected, and she's a great music teacher.
So, how has Miss Scott made a measurable difference in the lives of her students, which would be me? I started playing trumpet when I was 8. I would go home and I'd sort of figure out the trumpet. She'd come back and be like, well, how'd you learn how to play in that octave? And I'd say, well, I just did, and she loved it, and she pushed me further. But because of her, I went on to, I don't want to toot my own horn here, terrible pun intended, to do a bunch of talent shows, which I won, and eventually All-State, which I was first chair of for several years, and then I got a perfect score in my New England audition. I got All-State brass scholarship, which was sort of a dream of mine. And I was working with real trumpet players after that point, but it was Miss Scott's real push and belief in my talent that allowed me to become sort of semi-professional before I went off to college. Has she made a significant impact on your school and the surrounding community? I think the answer to that is included in what I just said. A resounding yes. We started off here with a 10-person band or something, and then we had 50 kids in blue and gold tie-dye marching in the street. We had this big procession of flag twirlers and baton twirlers. They were probably 6 years old, but Miss Scott wanted to make sure that we were a presence, and everyone really cared about music in a way that I don't think people did before. And kind of put Fairfield, dinky old Fairfield, on the map, so to speak, at the Maple Festival Parade, at June Dairy Day. And we produced a lot of good musicians at the high school that everyone goes to. She produced me, and I am turning into a music educator. And I don't really even know if I want to teach at a university level, because I want to be able to do what Miss Scott did and show people at a young age that, guess what, guys, music is cool. Not only just music, but classical music is cool. You can get into the Rite of Spring. You can get into Beethoven. Because I don't know if I can swear, but it's rad. It's not just some old dead guy, playing some dainty stuff. No, this is the real deal. And Miss Scott she really taught us how to have that entry point into classical music in a way that a lot of people it's a real shame that a lot of people don't have that entry point introduced to them at a younger age. Miss Scott kind of lives here. She has a microwave. She is here at all hours of the day. She's completely redone this old 2-room schoolhouse into, I mean, just look around this room here. Everyone used to come here to hang out. Miss Scott understood us. We could come here. We could play the piano. She didn't care as long as you didn't have soda near it and spill it on the keys. You could just do... You could come here and you could express yourself with Miss Scott. And I think that she showed us that you can express yourself with music, and she gave us a place to do that. Music has this potential. Miss Scott not only knew that, she's a true musician, a true artist, true love of this medium, and really extended that to us all. And I know for me personally, it's changed my life. I'm getting a PhD in music so I can teach music and continue to play music. I don't know if that is 100% because of Miss Scott.